Hi, dear ladies entrepreneurs and all the business owners. If you are tuning in today, I'm going to be talking about how to create the optimal mindset for us to stay strong, resilient, even when we're going through difficult financial times. Like right now, today is August 29th, 2023. And as long as I know, we are either in recession already or we heading straight toward it. And probably a lot of you already feeling it. I'm feeling it. And instead of going into the worst case scenarios like we all like to do, what I propose is to lean into our self-belief and self-confidence. It's because even though we cannot control outside factors, the politics, the economy, they all kind of going in their own chaotic way right now, we can really take control what's in here and what's in here and create the internal atmosphere that will keep us going no matter what. And what it entails learning how we pay attention, first and foremost. And how we pay attention, what do you mean by that? What I'm trying to say is there are three ways in which we, a lot of times automatically without thinking of it, paying attention to the things in our lives, to the events, in a way that is hurtful, in a way that brings us down. And there are also three antidotes to them that I really want to encourage you to look deeper into, and there will be a PDF in the caption to this video where you can learn about the questions to actually really go into those antidotes and build them up in your system. But first, let's go over the three ways we pay attention in our business and in life in general that hurts us. So I would say that every human being out there, except maybe Dalai Lama and some other renowned masters, tend to do one thing when the times are difficult. We tend to obsess with the worst case scenario. We're just drawn to that so badly. It's magnificent. Our minds cannot stop but chewing on all the details, all the scary things that are possible. But how probable they are, we don't really know yet. And actually, if we take a moment and allow our nervous system to come to a centered place, we can rethink all of those scenarios and realize that a lot of them are driven by fear and our desire to reduce the uncertainty that's in the air. Those two things, fear and uncertainty, is a fertile ground for those negative scenarios to come up in our minds, but we can choose whether to get sucked into them or not. And this is a crucial choice that we can make. And again, it's easier to make it when you feel a little calmer. And why I'm saying this is because I know I've been feeling anxious and stressed in my life many times, and I know how vicious those worst case scenarios are, how mesmerizing they are at those times. So the way to remedy this, and a way to actually turn it all around and use our attention to improve our self-belief and our self-confidence, is by building a vision of the future that you want. Simple, right? Quite the opposite of what we're doing in those worst case scenarios. That's just the whole trick. But the thing is, we need to actually sit down, put 5-10 minutes aside to do this practice, and not just to daydream here and there as we do probably during whatever we're doing throughout the day. It gotta be a formal, intentional practice that you do either in the morning or at night. And the vision that you're gonna come up with gonna be your North Star, gonna be your guiding star, and something that draws you closer and get you inspired and motivated and get you to do things, to move there. Because what happens otherwise, if we are sucked into the worst case scenario, if we are staring at it long enough, we start feeling it, feeling the downward spiral. First, we're gonna start having a lot of self-doubts. Then we might start feeling those worst case scenario being like, okay, they're real, they must be happening for sure. And this is not really far from starting to feel hopeless and helpless. It's especially likely to happen if you are already reaching burnout. When we are burned out, everything seems like a mountain to climb. And this is why it's important to catch yourself before you get there and give yourself some rest. And when you're rested enough, you gotta get doing. I'm not trying to propose here another law of attraction kind of thing. Mind you, I do believe in magic and luck, but at the same time, I'm not gonna wait for luck to come and save me. Luck is not a strategy. Hoping for something to come and grab you out of where you are is not really good in reality. It's nice to have that hope and be open to opportunities and possibilities to open up for you. Yes, please. Hope is vital to keep going. And to nourish that hope, we need to nourish our focus. We actually need to intentionally choose how to focus, what we focus on, because longer you stare at those negative worst case scenarios, less energy you have to do anything to go about it. And the trick is to choose how you direct your attention. And that exercise that I just suggested you is a great way to do it in an intentional way. If you want to learn more about it, please go into the caption and download the PDF that's in there. It has all the questions for you to answer to really juice that up, that beautiful vision of what can be, so that you can get inspired and go for it. So go for it. And now we're going to talk about the way number 2 in which we pay attention, and it is detrimental for us, so that we can turn around and find an antidote for that as well. So stay tuned. So when we are going through some difficult times, like difficult financial times right now, we might stop noticing what is still good about us and our lives. And that also puts us down. It's also not inspiring to be in that place when you're noticing everything that is falling on top of you as you're trying to get through all of the tasks of your day. There are always, as long as we have some food, some shelter, and mind you, not everybody in the world has food and shelter available to them right now. But as long as we have some basic going for us, we can build out from here. We can be grateful for what we have, and that gratefulness, that positive emotion recharges our motivation to keep going, to keep doing, to persevere. And only people who keep doing, who keep charging in that great unknown, do win. And this is why, if we learn how to pay attention to everything that is going well in our life, everything that we can be grateful for, we can feel better. We can feel like there is hope. All the great things that are already going for us can get even better. And that's not something that we do just automatically a lot of times. A lot of times what we are normally do, we notice everything that requires problem solving. And that's just the way our brains are. Are you familiar with negative bias? Is something that we inherited from our ancestors, and for a reason. Our brains are much more likely to notice the signs of danger than the signs of relaxation in their environment, because signs of relaxation, signs of an opportunity to be relaxed, are not threatening to our lives whatsoever. Normally, if I see my couch and it looks perfectly fine, I'll get on it and relax and won't be alarmed whatsoever. But if I'm seeing a thought in my brain that tells me about that my bank account is kind of feeling shaky right now, and I'm not sure how much money I'm going to bring next month because of this recession and whole thing, that what my brain reacts to a threat. And of course, it's not the most uplifting experience to have, but at the same time, while you have that couch, so to say, and a lot more things are still going for you, that you're still supporting, you're managing, maybe you even have a saving account, who knows, the bank account that's dwindling and whatever it else is going on around you will take precedence for your brain, because it thinks that it needs to take care of it for you to continue to be okay. And that is ultimately true, but at the same time, it's doing it at the expense of celebrating everything that you still have going for you. And it's very important to celebrate all of those little things. My friend, who is a yoga teacher, who is starting her business as of right now, what she does, she thanks her dishes when she washes them, because that reminds her that she just had food, that she actually were able to prepare herself. She had time to do so. She bought it on a farm's market. She maybe even has somebody to share it with. So even just such a simple act as washing your dishes, which is not something we we think we can be grateful for normally can be that inspiring moment for you just to pause and recognize. And this is a way to recharge your engine, to recharge your system, to keep going. Because if we constantly noticing and obsessing over something that's negative, again, it puts us down, it drains us. And it's the opposite of what we're trying to do. We're trying to conserve energy and put it all towards doing the things that are going to keep us moving. We don't want to get depressed. But if we are focusing, number one, on the worst case scenarios, and number two, we're not noticing what is still going well for us at this day and age, we might be on the way to sink down really deeply. And it's getting more and more difficult to get from that depth back up again and running as deeper you go. So learn how to train your focus. Again, make it an intentional practice with this one to take a 5-10 minutes in the beginning or in the end of your day and write down everything that you're grateful for. If you want the specific prompts, again, they are in that PDF that's in the caption. So please go and download it from the link that I'm providing you there. And I wish you to infuse yourself with so much gratitude, so positive vibes, so they keep going, so that you keep going, keep crushing it, because you deserve the best and your business deserves to flourish. You got this. And now the number 3 way we pay attention in a way that is detrimental to our self-growth and self-confidence, and how we can turn it around by an intentional practice as well. So the number 3 way in which we pay attention in a way that hurts us, and what can we do instead? So I'm sure if you live long enough, you have been through many difficult situations. Hopefully not too many, hopefully they were not traumatic, but I can bet that you've been through something difficult for sure, and you overcame it, got through it in one piece. You're here now, you're listening, you're watching this, so it means that somehow you figured it out. Maybe you were scary at that moment when you were battling with some kind of unknown factors as well in there, but here you are now. And what allowed you to do that? How did you do that? How did you manage? What allowed you to believe in yourself enough to keep going then? And why don't we celebrate that you did it? Every person, whatever story you have, if you take a moment and appreciate and acknowledge what you have been through, you'll realize that you're a very resilient and smart cookie. And you can do it again. And if you believe that you can do it again, that you can overcome whatever you're facing right now, you will. It doesn't mean that you're going to arrive at the other end of this whole chaos that we're in right now being the same person as you are right now. You probably will get wiser, maybe have a couple gray hairs here and there, hopefully not, but you also learn some lessons that will allow you to grow as a person, that's for sure, even more than you have had by now. So this is what we do here. We tend to overlook all the times that we've been doing well in our life, all the difficult moments that we have persevered through and overcame. Because when we are stressed out or burnt out, our nervous system are triggered to the point that our focus is narrows down to the problem, and here we are, we're not noticing anything else, as if we were standing right in front of the wall, like this, and there was a big black sphere or dot, like a big dot, and I'm looking right at it, and of course it's scary, it's black, it's all right in front of my eyes, so I don't see the rest of the wall that is, let's say, white. That is the rest of my life. That is the rest of my life where I did go through difficult stuff and I persevered. There is the rest of my life where I'm grateful for everything that I have. And this is the rest of my life that inspires me and motivates me and reminds me what is that I'm here to do, what is my vision, what is my dream. And my point is that you can train yourself to pay attention in a way that allows you to capture those nourishing and positive things in your life from your past, the things that you hope overcome in the moment, what you're grateful for and what you're going for, what inspires you to get moving in the future, to really build yourself up, your self-belief and your self-confidence. Because when you have a very healthy, robust self-belief, when anxiety comes, you are not really that scared anymore because you believe in your ability to overcome it. However gigantic gigantic, whatever you're dealing with right now, as long as you have a good self-belief and a sense of self-agency, what you can do about this is matters so much, because everything besides that, it's really hard to control that. But what we can control is how we feel on the inside. Not always, not 100% is not what I'm trying to apply here. But if we choose to pay out attention intentionally, we can definitely nourish our self-belief and self-confidence and chart forward. So for the third way we're paying attention to do it right, also go into the caption, look into those questions. They're all in that PDF. They will teach you to go into your past mentally and pick out those memories that you can call for to remind you about how strong and resilient and awesome in reality you are, and that you got it, that you can and you will. So if you want to find me online, please send me DM on Instagram. My Instagram is my blooming heart hypnotherapy, all one word. Or you can send me an email if you really like what I've just said and want to try hypnosis, because hypnosis is all about training our attention to go in the right direction and inspire us by what it finds. Please send me an email as well if you wish. It is hello@mybloomingheart.com. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, please put them down in the section below. I'm really interested what kind of method you like the best, and maybe you recognize yourself in those 3 ways in which we pay attention that are detrimental to us. I do them all. So if you definitely found yourself doing that before, please drop a comment. Subscribe, like. Much aloha to you from the Big Island. We got this.